everyone and welcome. Today's project is going to be a quick release buckle collar. I am using a, hi everybody and welcome. Today's collar is going to be a quick release buckle collar. I am using a 1-inch light gold metal quick release buckle as well as a 1-inch light gold metal O-ring. So this collar is themed for fall, and the colors that I'll be using for the cord are, I have my double cow's hitch hooked up already with 550 in Coyote. If you are not familiar with how to do the double cow's hitch, I'll leave a link below. I show you guys how to do it with a quick release buckle, as well as if you want to make an adjustable dog collar, I show you guys how to do it on an adapter. And if you're not familiar with how to hook it up to your jig, I do go over that as well. I am using today the Speedy Jig XL. This collar that I'm making is very large. It's about 24 inches. So it's a big size collar. So again, for the double cow's hitch, I am using 550 in Coyote. I'm also going to be using 550 in moss, 550 in goldenrod, and 550 in chocolate brown. So the first cord that I'm going to be adding is the goldenrod, and what I want to do is I'm going to go right in between these two cow's hitches. So I'm going to loosen them up a little bit. And I'm just going to go right in between them, so I'm going right to left. I am using a paracord needle. If you don't have one, it's quite alright. You can melt the top of your cord to create a hard cap to be able to push it through. So I'm just going to go through both of them just like that. Bring this to the other side and bring the middle of the cord to the top of my work. The next cord that I'm going to add is the chocolate brown, and I am going to do the same thing that I just did with the goldenrod. I'm just going to go through these two cow's hitches, bring it to the other side, and bring the middle to the top of my work. And the last cord that I'm going to be adding is the moss green. And what I want to do here is I'm going to go in between this first cow's hitch, go underneath these two stitches going towards the left, and come up this second cow's hitch right in the middle. So I'm going to go I'm going to go right in between, underneath those two stitches, and then bring it up that second cow's hitch on my left, pull this to the other side, and bring the middle to the top of my work. Alright, once you have all of your cords at the top, in the middle, you can tighten everything up. I do recommend double checking your measurements just to make sure that nothing moved around, because it can happen. And using a quick release buckle, you don't have basically any wiggle room once it is done. If it doesn't fit, you're going to have to redo it. So please double check those measurements just to make sure. You can roll up some of your ends. You can roll up your Coyote and your goldenrod. The other two we're going to leave loose because we're going to be pushing them through the O-ring, but once we're done with the O-ring, you can roll those up as well. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to put your O-ring to the top of your work. I work on an inclining desk, so I use a little clothespin to hold that guy up there. Makes it a little bit easier for me. And we can get started weaving. So I'm going to start with my Coyote on my right side. So what I want to do is I'm going to go underneath this first cord, right up the middle, and then over this second cord on my left. So take your Coyote on the right, go underneath that first cord on your right, right up the middle, and then over that left cord. Take your Coyote on the left now and go underneath the cord that you just worked, and you're going to go underneath this first cord now that is on your left, right up the middle, and then over the second cord that is on your right. So go underneath, right up the middle, and then over. And this weave is a fairly easy weave. So once you have the coyote done, you're going to want to take your goldenrod now, and you're going to take the one on the right, you're going to go underneath all of your work, right up the middle, and then down this loop that you made with the coyote. So take the one on the right, go underneath your work, right up the middle, and then down this loop. Take the one on the left now, and you're going to go underneath, right up the middle, and then down this loop that you made with the coyote on the left. So go underneath, right up the middle, and then down this loop with the coyote. Now you want to take your two chocolate brown cords, and you're going to want to push them through your O-ring. You can do them both and just push them through. Once you have them through, you want to find those two horizontal coyote pieces in the middle, and you're going to take your chocolate brown now that is on your right. You want to go over and around those two horizontal pieces underneath the bottom part of the O-ring. You're going to come up through this middle, but then you're going to place your chocolate brown. You want it to be on the right side of your working cord. So take your chocolate brown on the right. You're going to go you're going to go over those two horizontal pieces around the bottom part of the O-ring, and you're going to come up in the middle. So you can just grab it, pull that up through the middle, but you want to be on the right side of your working cord. So here's your working cord. You're just going to go on the right, and then you're just going to pull that up and through. Take the one on the left now, and you're going to go around those two horizontal pieces and the bottom part of the O-ring. You're going to come up through the middle, but you want to be on the left side of your working cord. So go over and around, up through the middle. Here's my working cord, and I want to be on the left side of that. And you're going to just pull that through. Next, you want to take both of your moss green cords, and you're going to push them through the O-ring. And now you're going to repeat the steps that you just did with the chocolate brown. So you're going to take your moss green on the right, and it gets congested here, but once we're done with the O-ring, it won't be as bad. The O-ring just gets smashed in there with everything. So take your moss green on your right side. And you want to go in between the two chocolate brown pieces with it, and you want to go around the two horizontal pieces, around the bottom part of the O-ring. You're going to come up in the middle, and then you want to take it to the right side of your working cord. Go on the right, and then pull that up and through. Now take the one on the left, and you're going to go around you're going to go in the middle, you're going to go in the middle like you did with the other moss green, and you're going to go around those two horizontal pieces. And right now everything is really close together, so that part is a little bit easy to get around everything. And you want to go around and underneath the O-ring, bring it up through the middle, but you want to be on the left side of your working cord, so go on the left, pull that up and through. And now we can tighten everything up. As you're tightening it up, you can put through the chocolate brown and the moss green. It'll help smooth everything out and flatten it out. And then you can also roll up those two ends if you wish. So now that we have that nice and tight, we can start the weave again. I'm going to start on my right side again with my coyote, and I'm going to go underneath this first cord, right up the middle, and then over. Take the coyote on the left now and go underneath the cord that you just worked. Underneath the first cord that is now on my left, right up the middle, and then over. Next, I'm going to take my golden rod, and I want to go on the right. I want to go underneath all my work, right up the middle, and then down this loop that I made on the right with my coyote. Take the golden rod on the left now, go underneath, right up the middle, and down this loop that I made with the coyote on my left. Now I'm going to take my chocolate brown on my right side, and I'm going to find these two horizontal pieces of coyote in the middle. I'm going to take my chocolate brown on my right, and I'm going to go over and around and out my right. Over and around and out my right. And get rid of this plastic buckle because it's making too much noise. Okay, now I'm on my left with my chocolate brown, and I'm going to go over and around and out my left. Over and around and out the left. And now you're going to repeat that with the moss. Take the one on the right, go over and around and out my right. Take the one on the left now, go over and around but out my left, and tighten it up. And once you have it tight, you're just going to start again on your right side with the coyote. You're going to go underneath, right up the middle, and then over. Take the one on the left, go underneath the cord that you just worked, underneath the first cord, right up the middle, over the second. Next, you're going to take your golden rod on your right, and you're going to go underneath all of your work, right up the middle, and then down this loop. Take the one on the left, go underneath, right up this middle, and then down that loop on the left. Find those two horizontal pieces in the middle. Take your chocolate brown, go over and around and out the right. Take the one on the left, go over and around and out the left. Repeat those same steps with the moss. Go over and around and out my right. Take the one on the left, go over and around and out my left, and then tighten it up. Alright, I went a few more weaves down so you can see a bigger portion done, and this is what the pattern is starting to look like. And I'm going to continue the same weave all the way down the collar, and when I get to the end I'll show you guys how I do my tie off and what it looks like when it is completely done. Okay, I'm at the end of my collar, and I took it off the jig, and now I'm going to weave in the 4 cords that are coming directly out of the top part of the collar, which are going to be my 2 chocolate brown cords and my 2 moss cords. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start with my chocolate brown on my right side, and you have a gap in between your work and the 2 cow's hitches. You're going to go in that gap with both of the chocolate brown cords from front to back. The next cord, so for the moss cord, what you want to do is you have a hole right here in between your 2 cow's hitches, and you're going to stick both moss cords from front to back through through that hole between the 2 cow's hitches. Once you've done all that, you want to tighten everything up, and then we can cut and melt our ends. And I'm going to be starting off on my side, and I'm going to cut about 1/2 inch up from the collar. I'm going to fray these out really well. And then I'm going to melt them and squish them down. And I'm going to start with the one on the top first. I'll do the same for the one on the bottom. I'll do the same for the opposite side now. Okay, once you have the two sides done, you're going to want to do the cords in the middle. And I'm going to start off with my chocolate brown. I'm going to cut it about the same length, maybe a little bit longer. I'm going to fray it out really well. I'm going to tug on it too a little bit. There we go. So I'm going to fray it out real well. Make sure that everything's tight. And then I'm going to melt that, and I'm going to squish it down as well. I'll do the other chocolate brown on the other side, and then I will do the moss green cords as well. And I'm going to do them all one at a time. If you do them one at a time, if you're having a hard time with them being in your way, you can hold them out of the way. So once you have your ends all melted, you can use your color as is, but I'm going to be putting some Gorilla Glue on the ends that I just melted. I use clear, non-foaming Gorilla Glue, and I've been putting this on my colors and my leashes since almost the very beginning when I started doing this. So I've been doing it for about 3 years now, maybe 4. I've never had anything come apart that I know of, and it is a little bit of extra security. So I use clear non-foaming. It is waterproof, and I'm having a hard time getting it out of the bottle today. This bottle is almost used up. So like I said, I put it on the ends that I melted, and then I will rub it around with my finger in that general area. Oh boy. Okay. So once this is dry, I will let you guys see what the finished result looks like.